Before I get started, I just want to send a big shout out to my Real Shift family, and that goes for anyone who decided to become a channel member, and also all the individuals who show up for each and every video and leave comments. You have no idea how much that helps the channel. In fact, that is the best way to support the channel and help get these videos out to new eyes. I am currently on the road to 2K subscribers, and I need all of your help to get there. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content just like this.
All I'm offering is the truth. Nothing more.
You know, I could take the easy way out and shill for every Disney Marvel property that comes out, but if I did that, I would be like everyone else on YouTube, and I just have no interest in being that. What makes me different is I have the balls to criticize Disney and Marvel when it is necessary. I've also been known to praise them on rare occasions where they might get something right. The bottom line is I am always honest with myself as well as all of you, and that's why when I say things like modern entertainment for the most part is shit, I have no regrets in doing so. You see, because I know what good entertainment looks like because I've already experienced it.
That makes sense.
But also every other day now we have a new example of these production companies not putting the effort into these projects that they should be. Thus confirming to me that our entertainment isn't as good as it could be. Yet for some reason these details are consistently ignored, and the shills will have you believe that people like me are just too negative or toxic. And it's all a bullshit narrative constructed by corporate apologists who can't look at anything objectively.
Man, I'm tired of being right.
J.J. Abrams has literally told us in interviews that they had no plan for the Star Wars sequel trilogy, yet some people will defend those projects as if they did. There's been a litany of directors fired at Lucasfilm, everyone from Lord and Miller to Colin Trevorrow, who have all come out and said this company does not allow creators to be creative. Yet somehow they are the bad guys to the shills because they wouldn't get with the program. And then we move on to WB and the DCEU, and who knows what the fuck is going on there. They had some resemblance of stability when Zack Snyder was involved, but they sabotaged that. And now where are they? They're floundering, they're directionless, and they're about to be merged with another company. But I'm being too hard on WB and DC, right? No, I just expect a company with unlimited resources to be able to deliver competent entertainment on a consistent basis. But I guess I'm expecting too much.
Fuck me, right?
And then we have the MCU, which is an outlier here because they have experienced a long period of success. And they accomplished that by applying a formula to every single project they produced, and it worked. Some people like myself grew tired of that formula, but they did stay the course and they made boatloads of money because of it. They did something right in that they made movies that appealed to the masses at the most basic level. And as much as I've always criticized them, I've always given them credit for at least having a plan, unlike these other companies. Even if that plan wasn't appealing to me personally.
I don't care!
But that brings me to today's topic, which comes to me from Bounding Into Comics, so shout out to them for adding fuel to my rant fire. Because they reported that in an interview with Deadline, Infinity War and Endgame director Joe Russo said that producer Kevin Feige really doesn't have the future of the MCU planned out in the way that we think that he does. So apparently the one thing that I gave them credit for doing, they don't do.
No shit.
In the interview, he was asked if him and his brother were forced to include characters like Spider-Man and Black Panther just so they could set up future MCU movies. Russo responded that they weren't, and that, quote, there really isn't a plan, because plans would have to change if the movie they are making tanks. So from the sound of it, Marvel takes a very reactionary approach to filmmaking, which I don't really find appealing. It's one thing to listen to the fans and gauge their interest in certain things. It's another thing altogether to have no vision to begin with.
Because it's all part of the plan.
I just don't think you're going to get the best story possible using that method for a couple of reasons. For one, people blindly support the MCU no matter what, so is that really a good gauge on what works and what doesn't? And I'm talking about from a pure storytelling perspective. And the second part to that is it would seem that future directors don't have the creative freedom that they would like to. It just seems like a very vicious cycle of uninspiring filmmaking. Russo goes on to praise Feige for this, saying part of his brilliance is that there really isn't a plan. After a film's success, people start thinking about what else they could do, admitting that a lot of material was made up between Infinity War and Endgame. So it's really about, as the movie succeeded, then there's sort of enthusiasm about, well, what else could we do? And then that's when the new ideas would come out. This sounds like the very definition of throwing shit against the wall and seeing what sticks. And to me, you couldn't possibly be telling the best story possible if you're just making shit up as you go. And this could be a big reason why these movies do not work for me personally, because I can see through all that and it looks very hollow to me.
I see everything.
He also talks about how the various callbacks and call forwards contained within these movies were all thought of after the fact. One example he gave was Bucky killing Tony Stark's parents, which apparently there was no real plan for leading up to that reveal. It just felt right to them in the moment when they were making Civil War. So basically they're retrofitting these ideas into a story that they didn't really build to. And to be clear, this is the directors of these movies saying this. This is not coming from me.
My, how the tables have turned.
I guess it's left up to the viewer as to whether or not this type of storytelling works for them or not. But from a pure movie-making perspective, at least to me, it removes a little bit of the magic. I think it's a very interesting conversation to be had, and people with an open mind should really think about this. The MCU has just kind of been confirmed as a series of ideas held together by these random events that they had no real plan for. Now you could say that they are geniuses for making that work, or you can question whether or not this is the best way to make movies.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Personally, I would prefer a tighter, long-form storytelling approach, with a singular vision, but it appears that the MCU just isn't built that way. The vision apparently is to just wing it and see what works, and that has to cause contradicting plot inconsistencies. So I really don't ever want to hear again that the MCU is flawless from anyone. The MCU is not flawless, people are just willing to accept whatever they get from the MCU regardless of quality.
Besides that, it's all in the reflexes.
Of course, there are always examples of plans changing and rewrites happening during filming, but this company appears to be quite literally experimenting with things on screen, and no one seems to understand why that's a problem when it comes to character development, or even continuity. So let me know what you thought about all this in the comments down below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shift. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Y'all be cool. Nah.